Hey guys, I'm Desikan and today's video is going to be sort of like an affordable dupes for affordable products video. So I know this doesn't make sense, like last time I did the same thing with lipsticks, like affordable dupes for affordable lipsticks. A lot of you guys were like, something's wrong with the title, it doesn't seem about right. Well, let me explain it to you guys. So there are some affordable products that are like less than 1000 rupees or really affordable products that are very similar to each other. Or there are products like, say, if you have a Pat Cosmetics product that is worth 800 rupees, there's something that is very similar to that in about like 295 rupees price range. Yeah, that's real. We have a product like that in today's video as well. So this is sort of like to help you guys save money as well as avoid buying similar products just because everybody is talking about it and nobody does this. We usually do expensive products to affordable products, but in the affordable category itself, there are dupes to each other. And also sometimes it's like buy this and not that. So I'll talk to you guys everything in detail, and also let's address the elephant in the room. Who remembers this background? So yeah, all these days the background you saw was my room in my mom's house. So now I'm back to my husband's house. So this was where I originally used to film all my videos, and we are in the process of getting my studio done upstairs. It's in the process of getting ready. So this is sort of like a temporary background because I will be moving to my studio in a bit and I'm so excited for that. So anyways, let's get started with today's video. So the first product I'm going to be talking about are some eyeshadow palettes. Now I know a lot of you guys really like this Wet n Wild Rosé in the Air eyeshadow palette. It's a really nice palette. I like it too. Oh my god, I knocked something over. Yeah, clumsy me. I know a lot of you guys really like this palette. I love it too. I use this for the longest time and I still do use this quite a lot. So it has a wide variety of matte eyeshadows, some shimmer shades, not a lot of options in the shimmer category. So for me, the problem with this is that, you know, the shimmer shades don't really pack a punch and you don't really get as much eyeshadow. So this is a 10-pan eyeshadow palette. In case you wanted a little more color options for slightly more price range, you can try out this LA Colors eyeshadow palette in the shade Brave. So this one, the original retail price of this is 675 rupees. I've never paid that price. I think you can get this for like a flat 30% off or flat 50% off. I think that's the right time to pick this one up. I'll show you guys like a side-by-side comparison and you can spot the exact similar shades in this too. Can you see that? And I feel like the shimmer shades in this work better and the matte shades are really nice as well and you get more options. So if you wanted something with a little more color options, you can try this one out. They do have different color variants, but this was the one that caught my attention, so that's the reason I picked this one up. So I'll just swatch some shimmer shades from this palette. You guys can see how that looks. I mean, it's not the most shimmery pigmented kind of shades, but it's a lot more softer and it does show up on your eyelid. Whereas let me swatch some shades from the Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette. So let me swatch this shimmer shade, and no matter how much I pick that up, it doesn't show up. It's sort of like it doesn't have as much sheen to it. Can you see that? It's sort of like a matte eyeshadow itself, whereas this at least has a little bit of sheen to it. So in case you wanted something in a similar price range with more shades, you can try out the LA Colors one. But of course, if you really like the Wet n Wild one and you're like, no, that's my favorite, you can stick to that. You don't really have to do everything I'm telling you guys. So yeah, I have a couple of eyeshadow palettes to talk to you guys about, and then the next one I'm going to talk about is the NYX Ultimate eyeshadow. This one is in the shade Warm Neutrals. Okay, when I first got this one was for 1,725 rupees. You can get it on discount these days for a flat 50% off as well sometimes. So this is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. Again, the shimmer shades are not the most pigmented. They don't really even show up as much. So yeah, that's a shimmer shade that I'm showing you guys. Can you see that? It's not as pigmented. But the matte shades are really nice in this. So option, not anywhere like in a similar kind of shape or color scheme, but something that is really nice and something that is really affordable as well. You can try out the Makeup Revolution Reloaded eyeshadow palette. I got this one in the shade Neutrals too. In this you get 16 eyeshadows, in this you get 15 eyeshadows. But really good eyeshadow, something that will pack a punch as well and work really well on the eye. For some reason I'm not able to open any eyeshadow palette today. It's not the color scheme that I'm talking about as such today, but even the formula and something that you can get more value out of. They're not the most similar, but there are some overlapping shades in both. They have like I mentioned, different color selection in this, and a really nice palette if you guys wanted to try it out. The shimmer shades in this are my favorite. They are really nice, and if you wet the eyeshadow, look at that, it will turn out to be a lot better. So if you guys ever see the NYX eyeshadow palette and are like, okay, I got this for flat 50% off, it's still money that's going down the drain from your pocket, whereas you can get Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palettes for a much cheaper price. If you really like some color scheme in the NYX palette, then of course stick to that, but I don't think it's very unique, and you can find much better color selection in the Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palette. Matte shades are amazing, shimmer shades are really nice and pigmented. So what makes or breaks an eyeshadow for me is the number of matte shades, the number of shimmer shades in it, how the shimmer shades perform and how the matte shades perform. So if there are a lot of shimmer shades and it's not performing, then what's the point? Similarly, if there are a lot of matte shades as well and not enough shimmer shades, so you're going to be using another product just for that. So it has to be a good balance of both, and that's what makes or breaks an eyeshadow palette for me, and I feel like the Makeup Revolution one in that perspective does a really good job. So next up, let me finish everything in the eyeshadow palette category. So the next one I want to be talking about is the PAC Ultimate Shadow Box Collection. So they have this one, this is in the mauve variant, they have a warm eyeshadow palette, they have a different variety of color selection. But in today's video I'm not talking about similar color scheme, I'm talking about similar or better formula. So the one that I would suggest over the PAC eyeshadow palette is the Nikake eyeshadow palette. You get same 9 eyeshadow palettes in this, and in this you get 11.7 grams of product, and I'm not sure how much you get in the PAC one. I will leave it somewhere on the screen. So you do get quite a lot of quantity in the Nikake eyeshadow palette as well. And how often do you like hit pan or go through an entire eyeshadow palette? It does take a while, even if it is the only eyeshadow palette you have, and even if it is the only one that you're using continuously. So I really love the color scheme of this. So PAC has a warmer eyeshadow palette that is very similar to the Nikake Autumn Spice palette. So I will leave the picture right here, you can see, and this one performs really well. It's what I have on my eyes today, and it looks really nice. The shimmer shades look really nice, the matte shades are beautiful. You have everything you would need. You don't really need to reach out for another eyeshadow palette. That's what I did today as well. Like, I just needed this. This is what I have on my eyes. I didn't have to go out and take another eyeshadow palette from my collection. So really nice transition shades, really nice shimmer shades. Shimmer shades are so good. I didn't even have to wet it. You can use your fingers with it and it blends really well. This eyeshadow palette, I really like the matte shades as well, but the shimmer shades are not as shimmery as this one is. So this is for 1,200 something, and it's very rare to get PAC Cosmetics on a discount. So might as well just buy the Nikake one for like 300 rupees, which is a steal. And then let's move on. Okay. This one I'm going to talk about are foundations. So the LA Girl Pro Matte HD Longwear Matte Foundation. A really nice matte foundation for people with really oily skin, something that stays for a really long amount of time, something that wears really well, and with really good color selection, especially for Indian skin tone. So this one retails for 1,250 rupees. You can find it on discount most of the times. But if you wanted something for like half or less than half the price of this, you should be trying out this one. This is the Lakme 925 Primer Matte Foundation. You guys can see in the demo as well, I have it on both the sides of my face, and right now, the right side of my face I have the LA Girl Foundation, and on this side, that is the left, I have the Lakme Foundation. They look the same, they feel the same on the skin, they give the same amount of coverage, and even the Lakme one has pretty good shade range. With this foundation, Lakme has expanded the shade range, which is a really good thing. So I know a lot of people with like combination oily skin really enjoying this foundation. So if you wanted something that is for an affordable price point, try this one out, and if this is too expensive for you. Next one, PAC Spotlight Concealer on this side of my eye. Okay, a really nice, okay, I don't have it right now, but in the demo I have it on the right side of my eye. A really nice medium coverage concealer. Can be a little bit powdery, especially if you have very dry skin. Keep that in mind. Underneath your eyes it can powder up, and it's not as long wearing, but it's a pretty decent wear time. Something that is exactly similar to that, like looks similar, is from Swiss Beauty. This is their liquid concealer. Okay, this one is in the shade, I have 05 and 06. Very similar. So this one you get 5.6 grams of product, I don't know why PAC never mentions the quantity you get. Okay, like as of Nykaa's website, you get 5.5 grams of product, whereas in this you get 5.6 grams of product. You get more quantity as well, and you get the same performance, exactly the same. Maybe with this the Swiss Beauty concealer, you have to dip in your concealer twice and apply a little more product to get that medium coverage, but it's still like 295 rupees and you can find it on discount most of the time. Whereas this retails for 765 rupees, you're like spending half the amount and getting the same performance. And then something again from PAC, this is the PAC Studio Derma Concealer, something that a lot of people really like because it looks like skin, something you can wear on a daily basis and it's very user friendly, beginner friendly, and really nice concealer. It's what I have on the right side of my eye as well. More than wearing it underneath my eyes, I really like this for like spot concealing. It's really nice on the skin. It doesn't dry your skin out, doesn't flake it, doesn't look cakey. But this is discontinued and I don't know why. You can't find this anywhere. And if you wanted something similar to this, I have you covered. The similar concealer I'm talking about is from Star Cosmetics. I have spoken about this quite a few times right now that you should be well aware of this. So this one you get it for about 250 rupees. And this one is in the shade medium, the one that I have. So one thing I have to give it to the PAC concealer is that you get 30 grams of product in this, which would last you for a really long time, as opposed to the Star Cosmetics concealer where you get just 5 grams of product for 250 rupees. Of course, you can find it on discount most of the times. But this is not available anymore, and it's for people who want to spend only so much at that time, and you want to only this much amount of money goes from your pocket and you get to try out the product to see if you really like it. If you get 30 grams of product, it's well and good, but what if it doesn't work for you? It's like about 750 rupees or 800 rupees that went out of your pocket. And plus, yeah, it's discontinued. So this is very, very, very similar. It's what I have on the left side of my eye. You can see the coverage, you can see the finish, you can see how it looks. It looks identical. Can you even tell me which is what? It just looks the same. You were disappointed that you could never get your hands on the PAC concealer, try the Star Cosmetics concealer and you will be in for a surprise. So Maybelline Fit Me Loose Powder. This is a really pigmented powder, something that is really nice and ideal for people with all skin types if you use it with a light hand, but more so for people with oily skin. If you have a lot of oil that peeks through your skin after makeup, this is the one you should be using to set your skin, to set your base. This one you get 20 grams of product for 695 rupees, which is a really good price point, and you get a lot of quantity. But if you don't really like Maybelline for various reasons, or you don't really like this product, you can try out the Blue Heaven Finishing Powder. This one is in the shade, I want to say Natural. I'm not sure what the shade of this exactly is, but I will try to find the link and leave it in the description box below. So you get 20 grams of product in this, and this one retails for just 125 rupees. Beat that. You actually get the exact same quantity for almost a quarter of the price, and you get a similar performance. And if you ask me, I do really like the Blue Heaven powder a little bit better than the Maybelline one itself, because I have sort of normal to dry skin, and I feel like this one, it just sets the makeup and it almost looks invisible on your skin. Even if you have a lot of foundation, it doesn't look like it has too much coverage to it. Whereas the Maybelline one has like more, like I said, it's a pigmented powder, it has a little bit of coverage to it, which I don't want sometimes, and this one does it for me. So next one is a loose powder that I have to talk to you guys about. So this one is the Sugar Cosmetics Translucent Powder, which you get 7 grams of product for 599 rupees. I have some similar options, and these are again similar to each other as well. So the Swiss Beauty Priming Mattifying Setting Powder. So this one again I think retails for around 200 rupees. So really affordable product, and the performance is exactly the same. With translucent powder, these kind of like whitish powders, sometimes a little bit goes a long way, and if you go overboard you might have that white cast in pictures and underneath your eyes. So just use it a little bit sparingly, and you don't really have to use a lot of it. If you want to bake underneath your eyes, I would suggest using like the Maybelline powder or the Blue Heaven powder, or even a banana powder, which I will be showing you guys in a bit. And also something that is again very similar to the Sugar Cosmetics one is from Mars, and this one is their translucent matte powder. So I'm not sure how much quantity you do get in this, but again very similar. And the Swiss Beauty and Mars Cosmetics powder are also similar to each other. So you can just pick either one of it. You don't really have to go out and buy everything. So let me just swatch the sugar powder. So this is sugar. It's a slight tint. It is a very nice finely milled loose powder. And then Swiss Beauty. I know it's powders, you can't really make out, and even if I apply it on my skin, you can't really make out that much, but they are quite similar. And the Swiss Beauty one is not as white as the Sugar Cosmetics one. It's a little bit more less pigmented, if I may say so. So these are all the powders. So this one is the Mars Cosmetics one right here. I have the Sugar and the Swiss Beauty. So they all are very similar, but I think the most finely milled one is the Swiss Beauty powder. And then a banana powder, which I love a lot and I have mentioned a lot of times, is the Makeup Revolution Luxury Powder in the shade Banana. You get 42 grams of product for around 650 rupees, which is a lot of product for an affordable price point. And this is a very nice, beautiful, soft, finely milled banana powder. It doesn't have like that crazy yellow tint to it, and it's like really nice. It's sort of like a whitish yellow shade, so it works for all skin tones, and it just sets your makeup really well. So if you want to even bake, you can do that. It wouldn't look too much. So a powder that I feel like is very similar to that is again from Mars Cosmetics, and this is the Mars Cosmetics powder. This has slight bit more yellow tint to it. So if you have a deeper skin tone than mine as well, it would work out. And then while speaking about eyeshadows, I forgot to mention this. So this is the Wet n Wild liquid eyeshadow. This one you can find it on an MRP of 499 rupees, but a discount of flat 50% off most of the time, so you can get this for about 250 rupees. The reason I'm going to be suggesting something else over this is because these can clump up a little bit and can have fallout. Like once you start blending your eyeshadow, it can have that fallout and might not look very neat and put together. So something that is like, again, similar price point, 199 rupees, can find it on discount, like flat 10% off for about 185 rupees, is the Swiss Beauty liquid eyeshadow. It doesn't clump as much and it doesn't have as much fallout. Swiss Beauty has a wide variety of color selection, different kind of shades. So compared to the Wet n Wild liquid eyeshadow itself, I would still prefer the Swiss Beauty one in case you were wondering. And then now let's move on to some highlighters. This is the Kiko Milano Radiant Touch Creamy Stick Highlighter. I'm not sure what the shade is. They have just one shade option in this. It's a pretty good formula. Like it's not very intense, but it's not very light as well. It does have a little bit of a sheen to it, but for me sometimes the shade is a little bit too white or pinkish. So I found an alternative from an Indian brand which does a much better job for me. That is the Sugar Cosmetics Face Forward Highlighter Stick. This one is in the shade Bronze Bellwether. It's pretty warm and it has the intensity I would need. It does have shimmer particles to it, but sort of like melts on your skin. It doesn't look too much, but it does have shimmer particles. Then another highlighter. This is the PAC baked highlighter. This one is in the shade number 02. A very beautiful baked highlighter. You can make it intense, you can make it very subtle, looks like skin, not too much of a shimmer particle to it, but not too subtle as well. So this is what I have on the right side of my skin, and a very, very, very similar product that I found from the affordable range is from Swiss Beauty. This one is their Fusion highlighter. This is also a baked product, and this one you get it for 299 rupees, but discount, you can find it on discount most of the times. Very good color selection for whatever your preference is and whatever your skin tone is. So this is what the PAC highlighter looks like, and the Swiss Beauty highlighter is like very similar to that, even in terms of shade. And sometimes I still do really like the Swiss Beauty highlighter way more than the PAC highlighter itself, because if you want to make it subtle, you can make it really subtle. It looks like your skin, it doesn't look like too much on your skin. But if you want to build it, it does give you the intensity but not look too powdery and shimmery on your skin. I hope I'm making sense right here. So this is a Swiss Beauty highlighter. It has a certain amount of warmth to it as well, which I really like, and this is the PAC highlighter. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This video is for all of you guys who wanted to save a little bit of money, avoid buying similar products, and just were looking for sometimes better formulation in itself. And I don't really have any lipsticks in this video because I have already done like an affordable lipstick dupe for affordable lipsticks. I will link it right here so that you guys can check that out. So yeah, let me know what products from the affordable range you think are very similar to each other. Maybe we can do a part 2 as well. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.